Classes for writers. Classes for writers. Classes for writers.
Hello, and welcome to the Classes for Writers business plan presentation. My name is Patricia Green, and I will be your presenter for this course. I have over 25 years in the writing business, first as a technical writer, running my own business, and then as a fiction author, writing teacher, and mentor. A disclaimer might not be the most glamorous way to start a presentation, but I want to let you know that I'm not an accountant or lawyer. I cannot give you tax advice or legal advice, and I don't want to mislead you into thinking I can. I can, however, give you practical advice, tried and true advice, to help you make sense of your business goals and milestones. So, if you need legal or tax advice, please consult a qualified professional. Now, on to more interesting matters. Let me give you an overview about what this course covers in 5 parts. Lesson 1 is about your writing career and how it's a small business, what comprises a small business, and why you need a business plan. Lesson 2 looks at the components of a small business, and more importantly for our purposes, the components of a writing business. Once you know the components, it's easier to examine each one in detail. Divide and conquer. Lesson 3 discusses your income, including projections of income on a particular project. There are some nifty ways you can understand the basic Amazon algorithm and apply that knowledge to your books. This is where you'll pick up your sheet of calculation reminders. In Lesson 4, we'll consider creating your 5-year business plan. We'll look at how it's created and why it's important in the grand scheme of things. And finally, in Lesson 5, you'll collect your 1-page Writer's Business Plan handout. We'll go over all the components of the plan, how to fill out your personal plan, and how to figure your net income. Don't be overly concerned with doing the calculations. They're simple arithmetic and spelled out in detail both in the course and the course materials. Got all that? Great! Now we'll start with your free lesson. Lesson 1. Part 1 of this series covers the basic premise of a writing career and how it compares to a small business, as well as the concepts of planning, implementing, marketing, and accounting, which all small businesses need, and why you, as a small business owner, need a business plan. So what is a writing career? This is the kind of question that makes many students roll their eyes, but a writing career isn't simply sitting down and writing. There's a lot more to becoming a published author than writing a story. A writing career is a small business. It involves planning, implementing, marketing, and accounting, just like any small business. If you want to be successful in the industry, all 4 of those issues must be part of your work. Planning includes deciding how many books to write in a given year and over a 5-year period. It includes deciding on where you intend to submit your work and what they require. It also involves thinking about where you are in your career in relation to where you'd like to be at the end of the year and in 5 years. I write a new business plan at the end of every calendar year and revise my 5-year plan as needed. Some years are not as successful as others. Some are wildly successful, and you'll want to be flexible. You never know if trouble will be coming along, so as you work through your plan during the course of the year, give yourself room to flex where needed. Do not renege on your promises to yourself, but do be realistic. Implementing is all about doing the writing. You might be a pantser, a person who writes by the seat of their pants, in other words, without a preconceived plot, or a plotter, but you still need to set goals for your books. Your schedule might preclude you writing a book every quarter, in which case you might write a book every year or 2. That's perfectly okay. Or you might be a full-time writer and can produce a book every quarter or semi-annually. Power on! Whatever your schedule might be, you need to sit down at your chosen time and write. There is no such thing as writer's block. There are only procrastination and distraction. Most successful writers will suggest that you write every day. Stephen King gives that advice in his book On Writing. It's a great book that includes a memoir of his career, so there's a lot more to it than how to. But you might only have 2 hours on Monday and Thursday to write. There's nothing wrong with that schedule. You won't be writing a magnum opus in a month, but a little bit at each sitting, and it does add up. Just be sure to spend those 2 hours on Monday and Thursday. Make a pact with your significant other and your kids. While they're watching My Little Pony and Spider-Man, you spend your 2 hours researching, writing, or editing. There might be interruptions, but don't let those become disruptions. Don't forget thinking, as in thinking about your story and plotting it out, editing, and researching time when you're implementing. Those chores are part of writing too, and something you need to understand going in. That applies whether your books are edited by a publishing house or an outside editor. And of course, the research is always up to no one but you. Make sure you take the time to review the edits and do your job right. Just like you'd go to an outside job during certain hours of certain days, use a workmanlike attitude where your writing is concerned. Marketing is often the part writers hate most. Where do you get the most bang for your buck? Let's face it, most of us do not make a mint at this business, so we have to keep our expenses low. Choosing marketing and promotions options are very genre-specific. What works for romance authors does not necessarily work for thriller writers, and the vendors you'll deal with are quite different. I've heard from many people that you should spend 10% of your allotted time doing marketing and 90% writing and editing. This is flexible. If you've got an ambitious goal of writing 5 books in a year, then 10% marketing, 90% writing is probably your best bet. If you're churning back catalog or writing fewer books, you might be more successful with 20% marketing and 80% writing. And if you're a brand new writer, you'll want to spend more time with marketing to get your name recognition going. I know of established authors who spend up to 50% of their time marketing in various ways. And I also know of established authors who spend 0 time marketing but do well anyway. Publishing and readers can be fickle. Try different things until you find the formula that works for you. Start your marketing before your book is published. Once you decide to self-publish, if you do, you should make your marketing plan, including where you'll publish and if you'll be taking advantage of special programs like Kindle Unlimited. If you plan to go through a publisher, your marketing plan should include any publisher-driven marketing programs. Don't be surprised if those are few and far between. Most publishers expect you to do your own marketing, unless you're Jim Butcher or J.K. Rowling. If going through a publisher, make sure your book is sold to them and you have a contract before you start your marketing. Most people wait until their cover art is available and their first marketing device is a cover reveal. This is not engraved in stone, of course. If you'd like to share tidbits of your book after it's contracted but before the cover is ready, you should do that. But don't share so much that the potential reader feels that you've read the story before it goes on sale. Why buy the cow when the milk is free? Accounting is not much fun, but it's part of the writing business. You must keep track of your royalties and advances against royalties, your ongoing costs of doing business, and your realistic projections of income to come. Give yourself a cushion to work with because the publishing market can be volatile and genre success comes and goes in a whimsical fashion. All of this seems like a lot of work that isn't writing, but remember you are starting and operating a small business. You are the proprietor and the employee, unless you also have an assistant. Setting goals will help you be more successful by the end of the year, and you'll certainly feel more successful just by checking off your tasks. Plus, you'll be paying taxes on this income, so you're going to want to behave as a business so that you can take your expenses off your income and have the best tax benefits. At the end of this course, I'll be sharing a one-page annual business plan template. It covers most things an author needs to plan for every year, all on one page. I think you'll find it useful. I created it when I was working as a technical writer. I had many clients coming to me to write their business plans, and most of them wanted something simple that allowed their banker an at-a-glance place to start considering their financial future. Most corporations have a very long business plan, but the one-page business plan is suitable for authors. My version is modified to fit the writing business. Your optional homework. Consider what your strategic plan might include. Is it so different from any other small business? I think you'll find that you have far more in common than you have dissimilar. Now you understand why you need a business plan. Ready to put it together? In the next 4 lessons, we'll cover the components you need to consider, your income, woohoo, your 5-year plan, and finally the end goal, your 1-year business plan. You need all of these lessons to complete your business plan and have success with your small business as an author. As Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, said, "We are the creative force of our life, and through our decisions, rather than conditions, if we carefully learn to do certain things, we can accomplish those goals." You could muddle about trying to put the pieces together yourself, or carry on doing nothing and wondering where your money is going and what you're going to do next. Or you can learn the necessary parts of running your small business and planning your success. Isn't it better to use a compass to get where you're going rather than wandering around in the wilderness? Since you've gotten this far, you are a person who wants to be more organized and successful. Don't stop now, you're almost there. Classes for Writers is offering this course at a great low price right now. To take advantage, go to classesforwriters.com and sign up today. Sign up for the Classes for Writers mailing list so you don't miss any opportunities to improve your writing and your business as an author. Your email address is protected. Read our privacy policy if you have any worries. Also, if you have any questions, contact us at classesforwriters@classesforwriters.com. We take you seriously. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you back for lesson 2.
Classes for writers. Classes for writers. Classes for writers.